You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1 second, it's coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wanted to drop something on you.
All right.
I'm saying we got it made. I was uh when I went to Africa, hanging out in a place called Soweto.
Soweto. Okay.
Soweto is the slums.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we think Lincoln Park or like downtown Newport News is bad, like we have
Mm-hmm.
no concept of bad. You know,
I hear you.
I'm going to people's houses, man, and when you go inside the dirt floor,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, it's made out of the same stuff, the self storage with that wavy metal,
Right.
and the
Oh.
water. The water is one. Now these people live next to each other. The water is one of them pump joints.
Mm-hmm.
It might be 50
What is it?
yards, huh?
What is it? A well?
It's a pump joint. Like you remember back in the day, we went to the park,
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
water. It might have been a well, Asia.
Yeah. I mean, because that's where you usually see that type of situation is like a
Yeah,
well type of
yeah.
situation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of them joints for the whole community. Hundreds of people got one joint.
Mm.
I'm just saying, just our perspective. That's all, Asia. I ain't trying to be deep or nothing.
Nah, that's something. Well, let me ask you this question: what was the mentality of the people there? Was it? I mean, like how did you feel? Like how did they make you feel? Like overall, when it came to your perspective of them, were they more of a giving and a welcoming type of people, or was it like who is this stranger, or yada yada yada? Like, what was
Yeah.
what was your perspective as far as that?
Man, my perspective was I was younger, so I'm like, I'm American, I'm the shit, you know?
Hmm.
When I
Right,
look back, I should have been more like, you're my you're my brothers and sisters.
right,
Like I am you. Damn near I am them. We are each other. We're the same people. I just happen to be born over here.
for sure,
Now that I've got a different framework on life, man. But when I was over there, I'm thinking about ladies, females partying,
absolutely, yes, the thing that we do.
the things that yeah. When I look back, I'm like, man, I should have been networking, meeting people, trying to figure out transcontinental trade. I mean,
Ab-
just
Absolutely, but that does require a more matured thinking, a more matured mind frame, in which
yeah,
I would say, sadly, when it comes to us, you know, a lot of us we acquire that maybe later on in life, if at all,
if
for
at all.
for a lot of us.
Wow, right.
I mean, it's real.
So I just wanted to say that because I hear you even when I talk to you, your voice,
Hmm.
the tone
Hmm.
of your voice, it's a little
Hmm.
different than it was years ago.
Yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. I mean, just from I want to say mostly from getting away from Hampton and Newport News and living somewhere else for all this long, man. It changes you, and then being in a place like California, of all places, you really get a melting pot of all types of different cultures. Like, I had friends from all walks of life, man. That was good. I mean, which I actually still do have, and it's funny because I'm going back there next week,
Yeah.
to kind of catch up with some of them. But man, it just changes you. I mean, the mentality is different. Everything is different, and it opened me up, man. So when I got back here, it was I kind of got back to the enclosed mindset, and
Oh Lord.
yeah.
I want to ask you, Asia, am I a member of the winners and a member of the outside of the box crew in your opinion?
I mean, absolutely, man. I mean, I mean, you know, man, you was outside of the box even back then, though. I mean, you really were. It's just now, you know, now it's really officially stamped. It's really officially stamped now, you know. But I definitely say that, man. Like the mentality of most of the people that were in my circle that are still here, their mentality is pretty much still the same.
Wow.
There's
Oh
only a
man.
few that have kind of changed, but the mentality is still the same. And I'm not gonna say in a positive way,
It
dudes.
just is. This is
Yeah, it's just it's just the same thing. And whereas if my mentality has changed, so it's kind of
good.
put a little distance between me and a lot of my, a lot of my people I used to roll with.
Tonight, class, I'm hanging out with my boy Adrian. I don't know, that's your stage name. You had the
Yeah,
stage name.
well, I the stage name was originally Asiatic, and that was I was more so a producer slash MC, and then I switched from that to A dot, and then I switched from that to Amazing.
Amazing. That's your new name now?
Yeah, which my alias for producer.
Music. Yeah. I'm cool
Yeah,
with that.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
I like that.
I kept the A thing. I don't know why all these years. I kept it was A something. It was A something, but yeah, yeah,
That's
but
cool.
yeah, yeah,
So we're
yeah.
hanging out with brother Asia. You are a record producer slash. Are you an artist too? Do you ever get? Are you
I
like
do.
in?
Yeah, I'm an artist too. I mean, I'm right now, man. I'm kind of a jack of all trades,
You
to
better.
be honest. But I'm gonna say initially, I was an artist slash producer,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
I branched out doing visuals, video, graphic design, just you're all around media guy now.
Yeah. Media. Media.
Media, yeah, it's media now.
You know what, dude? It's like as I look at you, I'm thinking about all the business training that I have that has made me into this guy today.
Right.
The music is such a minuscule part of the music business, dog.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. It's a it's a very small part of it, I mean, the hustle in the business is what is the most major part of
Mhm.
it, you
So
know.
tonight I wanted to just brainstorm with you. I know we talked earlier, maybe a week ago. We've been building for about a month now, just about internet and how we're gonna
Right.
possibly merge music stuff. I need to get my boy Jay Praise on here too, man, because I know he
Jay
got some good
Praise.
ideas
I
too.
worked with Praise too, like real briefly, man. He was working with these two artists, these two artists that was young at the time.
The young boys,
They went by the name of 50/50.
yeah, they was doing everything at my crib. That's what we was all working at.
Yeah, yeah. So I worked with them, and it was real brief, a
They
real
had
brief.
some good skill, man, for some young 18-year-old guys.
Yeah, yeah, and crazily enough, one of them had a father, I guess, or the father was out in Las Vegas when I was out there, and he was living there, so he was there while I was there, but we never
Okay,
really linked up.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think what you're doing just with the music, I had an epiphany the other night, but let me give a framework of the past. So just for my class that was watching, we were
Mm,
talking about how music is changing from, and it was weird. I talked to another friend of mine. I'm gonna have him on Asia.
right.
The dude was saying he had he had a guy that's making beats on a phone.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
and
you serious?
yes. You know what?
Tell
I
me.
was I was just looking. I was just looking because I'm looking at an MPC live now. I got away from the drum machines for a while because of the transfer from the hardware to the FL Studios, the Logic, yada yada yada. But I'm getting back there because I'm figuring now. that's where my passion always was having a machine. But um, I went to Akai's website, and they have an app called IMPC for your cell phone, and you can sample with it. It has the MPC pads. You can do that all on your cell phone, and
You can
I think it's for both platforms, Android and Apple,
using the touch screen.
using your touchscreen phone. So it's like everything is being condensed into one small, more so. Okay, let's say everything number one is being condensed into something more virtual, where you can access it on a phone and yada yada yada, and then it's a lot of power right at your fingertips.
You just show up wherever you at and plug in and start going.
That's it. You can be if you have a job, you can be on your lunch break and you can pull it up and start working on a beat. If you got if you got a few minutes, you know anywhere you're at, you can pull this thing up and start working on the track, man. It's crazy.
Let me give my viewers a framework of where we came from, Asia, so I
Hmm.
can get to where we're at.
Right.
My studio might have been $60,000 of hardware,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
compressors, limiters, gates, effects modules.
Yes. 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 It was a full pre-production room.
The room, not to mention the mixing console and the sound modules and the sequencers.
Yes.
Now you're telling me now that wasn't mobile. That was another problem for me, Asia, because I knew my studio. I had like all the, not all the top stuff, but I had so much gear.
Oh,
But
yeah, I definitely remember you had a lot. You that one room was crazy. You had a lot going on.
but the room we had gates, limiters, all,
Yes.
and I'm like, I can't go nowhere because
Yes.
I can't recreate the sound nowhere.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
like I want my drum kicks. You gotta have that compress. Now let me ask you,
Mhm.
compress it. I mean, we're all of it's in a one location.
Everything now is virtual.
You all done? Okay,
Everything is virtual. You have
you can turn it up.
compressors, limiters, anything. Now one of the popular things that has been popular, I guess, for the longest time is for the software to be able to emulate analog and tape saturation.
It's still
So
digital though.
yeah, but it's digital.
You
So
have the headphones on?
they figured out that too. So it's everything is all in a box. You can basically take that whole room that you had, and now it's virtual on a laptop. You can take it
Yeah,
wherever you want to go.
nice.
Yeah.
Class, we will do some Q&As at the end of this session too, man. But we're gonna get to some, hopefully some some mind blowing stuff for you. Just where I'm at up here.
Right.
But we just created the framework because we're Asia and I are used to working. And Asia, you moved around a lot. How in the hell did you recreate your sound, dog?
I don't know if it's the sound.
Oh no, I'm losing you, Asia. Wait a
It
minute.
was, huh?
Okay, I didn't hear anything you said. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. I said I just kind of kept it moving. My sound just kind of kept changing with the technology. You know what I mean? It was the same, but it was changing. You know what I mean? Like, as you transfer from the hardware to the software, you have way more capabilities, and you don't have as many limits as what you had when you had the hardware. So you're able to create any type of beat or sound or whatever. So I just kind of kept it moving.
But we were talking about that being a drawback too, though, Asia. Go ahead and
It
tell.
is a drawback. It is to me. It's a drawback because when I came from, my first piece of official equipment was an SP12.
Wow.
It wasn't an SP 1200. It was the SP12, which I
Oh,
believe that gave you like 5 seconds of sample time. It was either 5 to 7 seconds of sample time, and you had to figure out how to be creative in that 5 to 7 seconds.
that's
Now,
real talent, man.
back then I used to look at it like, wow, this is limiting. You know what I mean? Like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. But it enabled you to be so creative because you only had a little bit of time to work with. Now, fast forward to the day, you can do whatever. You can sample a whole song now. You can sample a whole album if it's capable of being looped. And it just and even though you're able to be creative, to me sometimes it prolongs the process because at some point it's like overload. It's too much. It's like, man, doing this, doing that, doing that. You know what I'm saying? So but like I was explaining to you, that could be just for me because I guess as a producer, when you start getting well into producing over the years, I guess it stops becoming more of an impulsive thing to now you're kind of calculated as to,
Analytical,
yeah,
analytical.
like how you want this to sound, how you want this to feel, whereas back in the day, you just, yeah, let's bang out, yo,
Create.
this is dope.
Let's create.
Yeah, yeah. So it could be that too.
You're
But I
right,
but I
man.
feel but I feel like I'm better with having some type of
Structure.
structure to work inside of. You know what I mean?
It
So
ain't just you, man. I got sick and tired. Class, we're gonna get to Q&A at the end.
mhm.
Adrian, I mean, I used to wake at night thinking about kick drums, snares, hi-hats, basses, compression.
Right,
I'm like,
right,
I'm done. I
right,
am done.
right,
I can't.
right.
It drove me. I'm like, if I would have just used that, if I would have layered that bass kick or turned the EQ down a little bit,
Exactly. And it has you like that all the time. And you listen to your mixes and you're like, yo, I need to turn that up a little bit more of that, a little less of that. That's what it does, man. That's what it does. That's what it can make you real critical. And it
I
can
think that I think
yeah.
it's a skill, Asia, to just set it. I have seen dudes bang out several tracks in a day. I admire them where they can say it's done, it's over, let's go.
Yeah, I need to have that ability again. Because I'll sit on, I'll literally sit on maybe one or two and I don't know, I guess I keep building on, but I think I need to put a cap on what I'm do. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What? Huh? What's that? I wanted to talk to you, Asia, as I transform into somebody wants to say hello. Hello.
Hey, what's
Let's get to
up?
Asia.
How you
Get
doing?
out of here. This is Bubba.
Bubba.
Yes.
Hey.
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 So, you got little one? You got any little ones, Asia?
Well, he ain't little no more. I mean, he's 18.
You got 18-year-old?
Yeah.
Wow. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good God.
Other than that, no. No more.
So I wanted to talk to you about just as I look at I'm turning into this businessman, that I didn't really want to be. I wanted to just be, in the studio, being creative for my life, dude. But it's like, huh?
Yeah, I hear you.
That wasn't the path for me, dude. So it's like try to kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
embrace this whole new thing and this whole mobile internet
Hmm.
world.
Right.
Just looking at different opportunities for me, and then looking around me and see how I can just plug in.
Hmm.
And I know we talked earlier, and you're on that same board about content. Or just tell me briefly about your thoughts on content.
Well, I mean, in this day and age, I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, whether it's music or anything, related to anything online, like they say, and this had to be beating my head. I had to finally just break down and be like, you know what, they're right. But content is king. The more content you have, the better. And I want to say it's mostly because now I mean, it's like open season for anyone to come in and start doing different things. So it's like the average person, man, is getting all types of stuff thrown at them all day long. So the more you have, the better it is for you to cut through. You know what I mean?
I
So
agree. I agree.
that's really what it's about.
I'm so glad you were on that. And what brought you to that, Age? What made you go from the old mindset? Because no doubt we grew up in the do a bunch of music, Set a bunch
Mm,
of music out, do a bunch of songs, try to get a placement on an album, an
mm,
artist that's signed.
mm-hmm.
That world is, in my opinion, is crumbling quickly. Like, I mean, daily.
Yes, yes, yes.
Shit's crumbling daily.
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to say, I mean, it was. I think it first started for me with the way music had kind of the way music was consumed. It changed. You know how we went from I don't even want to go back as far as tapes, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I want to say, let's say, let me start at CDs.
yeah.
You
Let's be
know,
real.
from the time CDs became obsolete, and then from
When was
there,
that, Asia? I don't even. When did they disappear? I just feel like they just
um,
disappeared overnight.
man, somewhere probably I want to say somewhere in the early 2000s, maybe.
Really?
I wanna say, I mean, don't quote me on it. But I wanna say that's when we really started to lose that, and it really became a thing of you know what it was? It was when the iPod really emerged.
Revolutionize how we are consuming music. The
Yeah,
iPod.
it was when Steve Jobs dropped that, and you were able to actually that right there is the pioneer of a whole lot of things that's going on today. But you were able to carry a whole CD case of music in one unit. And that's when we started to lose, that. And so it went from CD to MP3. Now people aren't downloading as much, and now it's streaming.
Streaming.
Now
Yes.
it's all about streaming. Not like, and you've seen the record sales going down because anybody could get a copy of your master, and it
It's
doesn't
over.
break, it doesn't go bad. You know what I mean? You can just have it and it's just good indefinitely. It's not like a
Yeah.
tape where you
Wow.
play a tape hundreds of times, you're gonna have to purchase another one at some point.
Yeah.
It's not like a record where if it scratches, then you may want to go out and purchase. No, you have the copy, you have the master copy of that recording, and it's gonna be quality indefinitely.
Wow, man. That is so deep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's it.
I'm looking forward to it though, Asia, as we move from. In my opinion, it's like I think that there was just like these, this Mr. Burns, the Simpson, Mr. Burns, the guy sits at the top.
Yep,
They
yep.
sit there and they've got their little. They could just mash a button and make or break you, or end your career, or if you're screwing with the wrong girl, whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're headed to.
Are you excited about it, or like me, or are you nervous, or what?
um,
It's almost
I
like the
want
Matrix, where you had to wake up and you're mad at the old way, and you got to learn.
I want to say I'm excited for it in one way, but in another way, I kind of miss the fact of you being able to have something tangible. You know what I mean, like a physical piece of something, because you can put value on something when you have a physical of something. But as you start to, as we got into the MP3s and different stuff like that, it's like how is all right from 50 years from now, how is this stuff going to be valuable
Yeah.
in terms of the physical aspect? Now I'm not talking about like the information and the song or whatever, the feeling of the song or whatever, but how are you going to put a value on it
Well, I
if
think
it's
the
just
determination of value is changing every day, brother.
it's changed, it's rapidly changing.
That's a
And
good
as you
point because the shit you can't. I'm thinking, when have I ever bought a physical piece of music? I just
I,
can't even remember.
I can't even remember I think the last time I bought a CD, I don't even. Oh, you know what? The last CD I bought, and the only reason I bought this CD was because it's one of my favorite groups. The last CD that I physically bought was Tribe Called Quest last album.
Yeah, that's a good album.
I bought theirs because they've always been and I wanted to support it in the midst of all the trap music that we have and all the meaningless music that we have. So I wanted to support it. But that was my last CD that I bought. And I didn't buy it to play it because I don't think I've ever played it once. I mean I have I have the MP3 of it and everything. So and now you can stream it and everything. So I don't even do that. So I just got it sitting around.
In my opinion, brother, streaming to me, it just and that is music publishing.
Absolutely, streaming is where it's at. Streaming is where it's at. It's definitely where it's at. It's I don't know. I think the challenge for people that have been doing it before that it got to that point is making the transition
Yeah, it can be
because
painful.
because I still have people in my circle that make music. They still don't understand what's needed in order to at least somewhat get your music or whatever heard or whatever.
Are people still trying to shop music and get songs placed on albums? Are they doing that shit?
I mean, yeah, some of the people in my circle are. I don't at this point. I can't say I don't see a point, but in a way, I don't.
I mean, I think it's hard. Anyway, man, I don't know. You know your business better than me, brother.
Right, right, right.
I
Yeah.
think of myself when I wake up in the morning. I think of myself as I look. I have these people in my office, right? I've got Baby.
Mm-hmm,
I've got Master P.
mm-hmm,
I've got Gary V.
mm-hmm.
These are just people of men on my walls, and I'm like, what would these fools? Would they be out there trying to get somebody? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They would be like, man, you a fool.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
They would think I'm the biggest punk for try. I don't know what I can't speak for them, but these dudes. When I listen to Master P's story, he's like, man, the dude offered me $1 million and I turned it down. I know I got something worth 10 million. It's like,
Mm.
and I'm thinking for guys like you. I mean, I know. I mean, the value that you have is, and I don't know. It's got to be mind blowing how much stuff you have.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. It's really now. I don't know. I guess it's just you know just adapting to how it is now and just releasing it, man, and just putting it out in the universe and just hitting the go button, man. That's
It's
all.
got to be struggling, man. I mean, because I think you're. I feel like. Well, let me ask you. Let's get into what I want to talk to you about.
Hmm.
As we transform to this mobile society, internet, is your destination so different than what your destination was? I mean, I'm trying to get in your head, like
Hmm.
where you see yourself ending.
Um.
Change from years ago to before. I mean, you would be just a producer making beats, but now it's almost like you got to be a media company. I mean, I'm like, tell me how that's just changed. I mean, it's got to have changed.
Hmm. Um. I can definitely say I can definitely say that my perspective has changed when it comes to being an artist. It's a completely different thing. Plus, let's be real. I'm not a spring chicken no more, and I don't do that type of I don't do the trap type of stuff. I look crazy doing it. You know what I mean?
What is trap music? I don't even know. I'm embarrassed to say, but I don't even know.
Um, it's what the new kids are on. I mean it. I
It's the
want to
Fetty
say
Wap sound. Is that the Fetty Wap sound?
it's the Fetty Wap sound, but I want to give credit to maybe like Ti or Young Jeezy. Those were the ones that kind of
Okay.
introduced the sound, and
I
from
like
there
that.
it's
Watered
grown
down.
into trap, drill, and all types of other stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. But back to what I was saying. Where do I see myself? I just me, man. I think for me, I just want to be a content creator now. It's just creating, content that's meaningful to people. You know what I mean? And I don't really know how to label that, but I don't know if it's, I want to be doing a particular style of music or this or that or this or that, but just more so delivering content.
Okay. The content of whether that's going to be video, audio, both music. I
Yes,
mean, is it
yes,
going to
it's a combination of audio and video. Yeah,
be? Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, yeah. So that's it. So it's just like, those that know how to adapt and change. I mean, it can happen for them.
So before my last question or my last little topic, so I can help stay with this framework for our conversation. Then I want to move
Yeah.
to what I was thinking.
Okay.
When we switch from analog to digital,
Hmm.
you know, the Rob Osh's
Yep. Master Sound
Master Sound gone, Hit
gone.
Factory. You remember the Hit Factory in New York
Yeah.
City?
Yep. Yep.
Dead. They just
Yep.
shut. I remember I got the call. I'm like, I was literally going there that day,
Hmm.
going to record in Manhattan. They're like, we're closing. I'm like, get the hell. The Hit Factory is closing. The Hit Factory.
Yep. Yep.
Then we got Winmark, Teddy Rock.
One more. Yep. Hmm.
So I just like I mean, tell me about when. In my opinion, these guys are getting out. They're moving to different things because it's easier to make music. How has that changed your framework of creativity and how you do things?
Um, with stuff like that happening, I mean, the only thing I can really honestly say is the technology has become cheaper for the home user. And like I said, it goes back to now, everything is more so virtual now, you know what I mean, with plugins and all types of stuff like that. So you don't need a huge studio for it. Um, the only thing I can say now is it just, to be real, in a lot of ways, it's like when when people had those big studios, they were kind of like the gatekeeper to a certain standard of quality when it comes to sound. Now
Yeah,
you can achieve
man.
that in your room, in your bedroom now. So I mean, now I just want to say, if you study how to go about this, you can win, and you don't really need all of the external stuff. It's just knowing what you're up against, knowing what time it is when I'm turn, in terms of what the technology is, how to work stuff like YouTube, and how to get on these platforms and just go. I mean, it's literally any man's game. And here is
Wow.
here is here is the thing. Here is the thing. You don't have to be Billboard top 10 or whatever it is you're doing. No, I don't have to talk in the language of music, but I'm just saying, if you want to be successful at something, you are able to set your own standard, basically.
Nice. Nice.
That's really what it's come down to. And everybody has their own lane. Everybody can coexist. There doesn't have to be, okay, in order for one to thrive, you got to knock one down. Like, everybody has their own feel. Everybody is their own individual. And if
Wow,
you
that's
know how
nice,
to
man.
project that, and if you know how to continuously give quality content, then you'll win.
All right, last thing. Uh, Asia, tell me about. Let me. What do you think about the work? Like, I know how hard I work. I've been working since 5 this morning. I
Hmm.
mean, on a Saturday, I've been working.
Hmm.
Tell me about the work. Is the work? And I can only presume. I mean, I know you've been up working all night doing the music sessions and all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, is it gonna boil down to who works the hardest?
That's always it, man. That's always the end game. It's like, whoever's the most consistent, really, whoever's the most consistent, whoever works the hardest, whoever has that hustle and that hustle drive, you should be able to win. And you can tell now, because going back to music, you know, you have artists right now that are not the most talented, but being that they have a certain level of consistency,
Yeah.
they win. I'm saying, you can chop a tree down with any kind of axe. It's just that some may be given the best axe, but their consistency to chop it down is weak. but then somebody may have a doll axe and they keep swinging and swinging and swinging, and they want to chop that tree down, and that tree comes down.
Wow.
And that's really what it is. That's really what it is, man.
That's so weird you mentioned that. I meet people around the country when I'm traveling. I'll be like, my whole freaking YouTube channel, we get this month we had I'm already at 2 million minutes.
Nice.
All a cell phone, Asia. All. And I'm like, I have a little bit of lighting, but I have no gear.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
I got
Right.
the dullest I got the
Right.
dullest accent to shed, dog.
Yo, but once again, you keep swinging the axe. You keep swinging the axe. So at some point, something's gonna cut through.
All right, class. Let's get to we're gonna do some Q&A with Asia at the end. Asia, I had an epiphany. I don't know what I was doing. I might have I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing now. I used to like not be on the cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the last few months, I'm like I even take a shower with the cell phone now, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a renovator of houses, so I get to build out my showers how I like them, right? So I put a shelf
Mm-hmm.
way away from the shower head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I built a shelf in the back so I could set my phone up there and
Right.
listen to YouTube or whatever.
Right.
And I'm listening, man. I'm like, why can't Asia or people in the music business set up a framework of a website that has all the? Because I don't know if it was you or another producer. Do you know a gentleman by the name of Lewis McLeod in Hampton?
Yeah. Yeah. He does the film stuff.
Yeah,
Luke.
he's
Yeah.
yeah, he does music too, but he did a lot of. We've done some
Mm-hmm.
stuff together. But he was saying how he's having some problems with his channel from copyright infringements.
Mm.
And another thing he was saying is how you can get royalty-free music.
Yep.
And I'm saying I don't want none of that. I want all the stuff on my channel. It's all stuff that I've been a part of. But
Right.
what about for you? Like your music, Asia, is this something that you would like to? Here's my thing. My thing. When I wake up in the morning, dude, I've learned what can I give the world for free. That's like my first step.
Mm-hmm.
What can I give the world for free? And for me, I can teach you how to buy a house without going to the bank. That's one of my things.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, you have I know got a bunch of music. Would you want to just let your music go royalty free and let everybody use it and let it maybe just catch on and then one day, I mean, is that something that's even on your radar?
Um, that's a good question. It's a tough question too. Um, I would say some of it I wouldn't mind doing royalty free. I don't know if I'd let it all go as that. Maybe if it was more of a subscription based situation,
Good idea.
I would want to do it. I would do it like that. And actually it's not too much of a bad thing because of course everybody is uploading to YouTube. You just get a YouTube content ID, and I mean, anybody that, well, I don't know if it's royalty free. I guess you don't get anything from it, but um
With the royalty free thing, Lewis was saying, I was asking him, why would anybody do royalty free? And he's explaining to me like you can have once you get tracks out there, then you can take that royalty free right back at any time, and somebody would say somebody you got a bunch of people that have used it.
mhm,
Somebody that's got a name or got a bunch of followers likes it. They want it exclusive.
okay.
You can actually it's a revocable right, so you can take that right back at any time, and then you can license it out to that one user and make money like that.
mm, I don't really see a point. I don't see a point in like your whole sell. It's almost like if you go to a store and you say, you can buy an Apple computer, and they turn back around some months later and say, well, this belongs to Apple. You've been using it for I don't know how long. Now you have to pay an extra fee.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Like, my thing is, if you're gonna start that way, just keep it that way. That's why I said maybe the smart thing to do is maybe maybe take some of it and make it royalty free, but then have some that you don't want to have as royalty free. But I don't see the point in saying, and your whole selling point is it's royalty free. Then when you
Yeah,
see somebody starting to make it big with that particular whatever, you want to be like, hey, no, let me, I got to take this back. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I
I don't
got
see the point in that.
So would you? I mean, obviously you got to get exposure somehow. You're not depending on a record label to expose you.
Right, right. I would say, man, just I
I'm
just
talking about
I
this is
huh?
this is the think tank. This is it. Not even. I don't want to. I want to know exactly what you think, dog. Because I'm like, you
I
got so much product. I'm like, it's got. Even with the subscription thing, maybe. I mean, that could be a great idea.
yeah. I mean, like I said, if I was to do that, it would be some of my stuff I would do on that basis. But for the most part, man, just keep the content coming, and just eat off the streams, and with that, maybe if because if you think about it, the main thing that you want to get out of this now, and this is how my mindset had to change. The main thing you want to get out of it is the building of a brand. So that means from the building of a brand, if you develop a fan base, or a core of consumers or customers, then you can sell products that maybe like some type of merch or some type of something else where you can make your money off of.
I'm talking strictly with Asia today, dude. This is all about you, brother.
Yeah,
Strictly music.
yeah. Only other thing I can say as far as that goes is just, man, just get your content out there. Get me, if it were me, talking to me is getting my
Yeah.
content out.
That's why
And
that's why I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to
yeah,
talk to you literally now was to say,
yeah, it's getting my content out, and
is
just
that getting it? Okay, let's talk about that then. I know all my content's free.
okay.
You can go to my channel. I got 450 videos. Show you how to buy houses, flip houses, front back. You could look at those videos and make it. It'll make you money.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the same concept that I do with the music though.
But you get. I mean, are you? That's my question is: are you giving them all that? Well, are you
I'm
going to give them
letting
all
them.
away?
Yeah, I would be letting them rock over it. You know what I'm saying? I'll let them do what they do with it, and then let's say if they release a song or something and they upload the song to YouTube, I can still get something from that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're using my work.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So that's how I would say I would want to treat it.
Hmm.
I mean, because real talk, who's paying for music today?
I don't even. Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you.
Nobody.
I
I
don't.
mean, all right, you got some people that may be huge fans, and they'll break down and they'll buy a CD if you have it.
How
They'll
old
buy
are they
and
though?
download it if it's
What
needed.
age group is that, Asia?
Huh?
That's a certain age group though, right? That's limited. That we're not talking about the masses. We're talking about on a micro.
Hey,
Oh,
there may be some people that are still fans of, like, let's say for example, somebody like um, Jodeci. Like if they release an album, they still have a fan base that will buy their music, that will break down and buy it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's really limited to like an age group.
okay.
But I do want to say, the younger they are, and probably the more money they're gonna make from that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's it.
So what I was, what I had in mind was like guys like me that have YouTube channels, right? Content creators.
Mm-hmm.
They got to have some music.
That's where I come in. Well, you can make your own beats.
Not me.
You already know. You be like, yo, let me get on the keyboard. Let me bang something out. Yo, I'm good. But I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the other million. They call them. Dude, you know what's so crazy? I love business and entrepreneur. new uh new industries and new job titles are like coming out every day.
Yes, man, because of where it's going. It's like, bro, it's literally like life as we once known it is fading fast, man. It's fading fast. It's fading fast, man. All these businesses are shutting down, bro. The brick and mortar business for a lot of people is it's a wrap.
So
So with that leaving, the trade off is with this whole online digital type of thing. It new jobs and new job titles are being created.
yeah. So that's why I was leading to this in a macro, not micro. Guys like me, I
Mm-hmm.
don't read nobody's music. I'm thinking I know there's gotta be thousands of guys out there that are making content would love to have some nice banging intros, some
Mm-hmm.
music under their stuff, and then outro. I mean,
Absolutely.
is that are you, I mean, is that on your radar? Does that even thought?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All that is on my radar.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, any man, like I said, man, anything that is going to get out there, and I'm able to use the YouTube content ID, and I I get some kind of change from it. That's good for me.
All right. So further than I need to break it down, how are people finding out that you offer this music? It's like do you give it away to a bunch of content creators first?
Um, well, one thing that I noticed is just get that just down to people who make beats. Um, really, if you start uploading your music, and if your music is hot, man, I want to say for the most part, and if you understand the process of how to go about titling it so it can be found, and maybe even putting a little bit of money up, for ads and things like that, people find your work.
They'll find it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to say, doing those things, that would actually work.
Okay, well, eventually we don't have to talk about implementation and deploying tonight.
Right.
My main thing was just to talk to you literally about a framework of having. I'm just thinking to myself now, dude, if I'm a rapper,
Hmm.
an MC, there are thousands of MCs that don't have producers next door. I could just go to your site, pay a few dollars, download some tracks I like, boom, 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 rap over those. I could literally almost put a whole album together.
Hmm.
I mean, are people doing that too?
Yes, that's that's where it is too. That's where it is. I mean, it's like with the I mean, now that the software is in is turning people into producers daily. You know what I mean? So with that being said, these guys are making pages. There's pages like, I want to say Airbit. That used to be, I forgot what it was called. I think it was called My Flash Store. You got
What are they
that.
doing?
Basically, it's a site where when you pay a certain amount of money, they have it for free too. But when you pay a certain amount of money, they give you this. They basically give you this way for you to sell your beats. You know what I mean? Like it's basically a virtual console where people can scroll through all of your beats, and if they like it, they can add it to their cart and yada yada yada, and then they pay for it. And then once they pay for it, they'll get a digital download of it once they pay. But it's a store called Airbit, which was currently My Flash Store. It's a store called BeatStars, and that's pretty much how the new producer of today is able to eat.
Upload. Wow.
Yeah, it's like you can pretty much set your own prices. Like they say, like for example, um for like $25. You can get a wave stem of that beat. If you pay more, then you'll get the whole Pro Tools session, or the whole track out of the beat. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
it's
You
different
get the
tiers.
whole track tracked out.
Yeah, like it would be like you'll basically get waves of every sound. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Of
Wow.
that one beat. So
Unreal, man. It's
yeah,
unreal.
yeah.
Well, I wanted to tell you before we cut out, um, I just been studying and studying and studying and studying business, dog.
Hmm.
Studying, studying. One of the things that Dan Kennedy taught me was in order for an entrepreneur to be successful, he has to have a herd. You got to have a herd.
Right.
And it's like whatever your herd is, whether it's a mailing list, a big ass mailing list, or for
Mhm.
me, it's a social media following.
Yeah.
For you, it could be different artists that love you or other producers. I don't know, man.
Hmm.
Well, whatever your herd is, man, then you can speak that language. We have certain languages in real estate terms we use that nobody else knows.
Hmm.
So how would we create a herd for Asia? How would we create? Is that cutting the cameras on in the studio, watch you making
Yes.
beats? Is that
Yes. It would be the same way, because you got to look at it like this. Like, yeah, I know I'm making beats, or somebody might be a rapper or whatever, but the way you go about promoting your business it's all the same now. Like, you go on these platforms, you either you're um giving them content of what you do, what I mean, whether it's making a beat, or like you, for example, you may, go on IG and post houses and all that type of stuff, and say little bits of, pieces of jewels and gems, and from there you get a following. It's the same thing for me. It's me going on these platforms, showing them what I can do, talking to them, and at this and that's how you build the herd, the following.
gotcha?
All of it's the same. It's all the same. It's just different types of content. But it's all intellectual property.
Look who's on here. Third letter. What? Oh my lord.
Oh,
Third
word
letter.
three. What up, son? Third letter is in the building.
I love this dude, man. This dude is
Yeah.
so real, man. Dude.
He's another Virginia pioneer of the hip hop art.
Yeah,
What up, man? What up?
this is cool, brother. Asia. I'm just today class. If you don't know, I'm hanging out with Asia as a music producer. How long you been doing this craziness, man?
Oh my God. Now you're getting ready to let people know exactly how old I am. No, man, I got serious with making beats. I want to say around 92, 93.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute, bro. But I kind of gave my age away when I said I first started with an SP12,
Yeah, I don't even know that one. I don't even.
bro. You was like, what? SP what?
I thought you
Yeah.
meant the 1200 because people don't say 1200.
No, the 1200 came after. But it's the same machine, except for the SP12 is gray and blue, but
That's
the
the one I
SP1200
know.
is all gray. Yeah, yeah, man. So I started. Yeah, that was my first official piece there,
Well, you know what? A,
man.
in my opinion, man, once again, I'm just one guy. I think you have the best of both worlds because you know where we came from and you get to live in this new world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot to digest. Yeah. Knowing how to use that stuff from back then, and then knowing how the stuff from now works too. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I would like to be a part of the. I was just thinking, man, if you had a website and I could just, if I was a content creator, I'm like, I need some banging whatever. I could go to this site, click on the joint, pay my little money.
Yes. that is being worked on right now.
Okay.
That is being worked on right now. That's why when we sat down and I told you how I was going through my, music that I had. You know what I'm saying? That was the purpose for it. It was to have the website, but it was to also open up a YouTube page so that I can get the music out there, and for the people, where we said, for the people that would become my herd, they're really feeling what I'm feeling. If they want to hear more and if they want to think about purchasing, then there would be a link to that website.
Yeah.
So, it could be money that's being made from that, and also from the channel hours and all that stuff too. So
Yeah.
from
The channel
YouTube.
hours. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go. I'm sorry, I
Yes.
cut you off.
Oh no, no. A little text message came up real quick. My man Bricks. I have to call him back in a
On your
hot
phone.
minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You did. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. But that's it, man. That's
So
it.
with just for my viewers, man, I just want to. I know before we met a few months ago, you were
Mm-hmm.
already thinking about content, but did you know where this thing was at? We went over some numbers that we met at the Krispy Kreme.
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware of how this thing is going all the way? When
And
before we talked?
I was aware. I
Okay,
actually I was pretty much there when we actually talked. I mean, a little bit before we talked, but I want to
okay,
say that before we had that meeting, it was just little things I was going over, looking at YouTube videos myself and looking at this online producer thing and everything, and it just kind of reaffirmed where I need to be.
gotcha.
So by the time I got with you, it was already kind of firmly planted on what direction and what steps I needed to take.
We're like, this is real. This is the. You know what? I think one of my superpowers, God has blessed me with,
Mhm.
is to make things believable. I'm real able to make stuff like, look, you could do this, man. You could do this.
Nah, you absolutely can. You absolutely can, man. It's just getting down to it, man. It's just getting down to it, and just hitting the go button.
Now, is it going to be harder, Asian, from coming from where you came from? It's almost like the guy that comes out of the hood. It's hard for him to live in Beverly Hills, or somebody came from a crime area. It's hard to.
Nah,
I'm not saying that none of that is. I'm not.
no, I know what
Yeah.
you're saying. I know what you're saying. No, no, it's man. It's just at the end of the day.
Regarding implementation, just regarding strict implementation, getting it done. Is it harder? Is it going to be mentally more? Is like more resistance?
No, it's no, it's really at this point, anybody that wants to take this path, it's you versus you.
Wow.
That means no real talk. That means that you got to fight against your laziness. You have to fight against you not being focused, and you got to sit down. And if this is something you want to build, you got to get to it. Cause
Wow.
it, cause right now there's no gatekeepers. Period. That's holding you back. We're not talking about going up to a record label and sitting down with an A&R and he's saying, well, yeah, this can fly, or no. You don't have
Wow.
none of that. Right now, it's really you versus you.
Wow. I love that analogy, brother.
That's it. The only thing that's stopping anybody is them now.
Wow, man.
Truly. Truly.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think A&Rs exist, Asia.
Bro, it's a wrap for that, man. It's I mean, they're in a position right now where they're just trying to keep up. Like they're just trying to keep up with what's going on.
What's out
They're,
for the viewers that don't know what an A&R is, Asia? Go ahead and break it down real quick.
artists and repertoire. Those are the guys that they
Used
they
to.
kind of they kind of scout the music out, or they may be the head of A&R for your particular project. They listen to your songs, they listen to your beats, and they kind of help to push the buttons to see if your music is a go. That's under a major label structure. You know, they have to run it past their bosses too. You know, once that happens. So that's basically what they are in a nutshell. I don't know if I broke it all
Yeah,
down.
well, the A&R, Asia, as I'm learning business, I'm like, who the freak are you? You sit at an effing desk. You
Yes.
from wherever the hell you from? You went to Princeton or wherever. I'm like, I
Yeah.
lived it. I grew up in hip. I am hip hop.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
R&B. I'm living, breathing in the grimy. I'm like, who are you? You can't now. I think the internet is exposing that.
Yeah. I mean, yo, it's a wrap for them because they have no control. They have no control. Anybody can self release now. You know, and really all they have to learn is how this system, this new system, this internet works.
Yeah.
That's it. So yeah, it's pretty much a wrap for that. It's
Well,
over.
I look forward to your future, my brother, man. I cannot wait to hopefully be a part of it, brother.
Absolutely. We getting to it, man. This is 2019. We getting to it, man.
So how about these cameras? Do you need me to help with this camera work, or you got everything straight, or I can help with content. I'm very good at narrating stuff and making it very chewable for viewers.
I'm gonna need you, bro.
Even with you, it's like it's weird. I don't know if I told you, but I did my internship with Pharrell
Hmm.
back when I was at Hampton.
Right.
That's where
Right.
I learned uh, drum layering.
Yep.
Like this dude had 3 or 4 freaking drum kicks, dude. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
and
Yep.
he had to have learned that from Teddy.
Probably so. I think so. I
So
think
I'm
so.
like, me coming up, I'm got one kick drum right running it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like this. I'm watching. Remember the little LEDs used to do like that
Yep.
on the mixer
The meters. Yeah.
meters. Yeah, I'm watching
Yeah.
his go like that, right? Like, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom. I'm watching all. I'm like, why is 4 meters going when the one kick drum?
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah. The layering, man, so you can get a more unique sound, more
So
unique
yeah,
drum.
I'm good at explaining that to my viewers. I think that would be so intriguing for you to just to kind of break that down.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could show them. How merging different kicks and snares can just make your drum sound bigger. You know what I mean? It just makes it
Yeah, man.
boom, boom. Boom, that. Bigger and better.
You
Yeah.
got a lot of content. You got a lot of content. All right, Adrian, my brother.
All
That's
right.
all I had.
All right,
You got
man.
any,
Well,
you got anything for me?
as far as
Questions or any ideas you want to run by me before I'm gone?
um, not right now.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But
class. That was it.
Chris. But what I would like to see happen though, man. I know you've made the transition and everything. From the music business to the real estate and financial, literacy advisor or whatever you want to call yourself. But no, no, no. But I would like to see you break your story down, man, because you have a story to tell. See, people don't know this guy. For the people, for the audience that's watching, this guy has a story to tell. Like, I don't know if you've told it, but you do. You've got some stories, bro. You've been in some situations, man, and you can, and even from what you've been through, you can give some advice to the people that may be in those current situations.
Yeah.
Because that's still going on now. It's not complete. That whole label thing is not completely out the door. There's still people that are caught up in a lot of those things. So,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
I would like to hear, me personally, I would like to hear some of the stories and some of the things
Got
that you've been through.
Okay. Yeah, I can do some of that stuff, man. I'll send you a link. I do have a video, a long one, where I talked about why I left the music business for real estate.
Okay.
I can send you the link for that one too.
Okay, okay, for sure.
But yeah, man, I don't mind sharing. I gotta. When I look back, dude, I just can't believe when I even think about it. I'm like, my internship was with they like assigned me to Pharrell Williams. That's like that was my.
Right, right, right. See, and that alone, people would like to hear about that stuff because that guy went on to become an icon, man. I mean, but they would like to hear, maybe even if it was 2 minutes of a story, based on what your experiences were.
No doubt. I'll share that. I'll share one thing of it. There has been something that he told me. I try to remember everything the man told me at the time because at the time he was signed to his
What, Teddy?
manager. No, I went Teddy. Rob Walker was his manager. I don't know if he's still the manager or not,
Okay.
but he was working with I don't know if you remember, dude. Do you know Quincy Jones had a record label called Quest?
Yeah, Quest Records. That was hit. That label been out for a long time.
I don't know when they left, but at the time he was working with Quest on some albums.
Oh wow! See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I'm in the studio. I'm with at the time he was very he had just did the Nori.
Ah, yeah,
What?
that was their breakout record too.
Yeah.
That was the one that did it for them. I know they did I know they did a couple of records for like SWV and all that, but I don't think I don't think that was really solidifying them at that time.
Use Your Heart. He did Use Your Heart, but then the
Yeah,
Nori came out.
yeah, which was crazy, which
That
was
was
which was
crazy,
dope,
right?
which
Yeah.
was dope.
Uh,
That was a dope record. Like if he wrote that too, man, his songwriting is crazy.
yeah, but I don't know what he. But I mean, Asia, I learned so much. My brother. I was telling my brother about when I was working when I had the opportunity to do that internship, and all I
Right.
was doing was vacuuming, dude. I wasn't doing a lot.
You was vacuuming the floors. Hey, I mean, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. It is what
Asia,
it is.
you know how you go in there with the big boys, you got to be like,
Yeah, you gotta shut up.
I'm like, I'm not saying shit.
I got you.
I'm in there, Pharrell, Dave Hoster, they're all in there. They're having a ball. I'm in like, man, I'm just thank you God for letting me be here. I'm just thankful. And then the motherfucker's like, hey man, go get the vacuum. Cause
It is what it is.
I'm at Hampton University. They assigned each of us because I was a music engineer. They assigned us to different studios around town.
Right.
My boy went out to Future with Teddy.
Uh.
And I'm like stuck at Win. I'm like, what is Winmark? I don't know what the hell no Winmark is. Then Pharrell walks in. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I get to work with the dude, man. I'll tell some stories on that. Matter of fact, I don't want to leave you on. I mean, if you want to stay on, I'll tell one story I wanted to share tonight about that.
Go ahead, man. Hey, let's go.
The
I
man, I remember he said so much. With I'm gonna literally, I'm working on a video. Things I learned from working with Pharrell Williams.
Yeah,
This is
you
the
might.
one,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. You might have to save that for a whole different
Oh no,
video.
that's cool. I'm not. I can't elaborate on it all now because I
Yeah,
have my book.
I
But
got you.
he told me, he said, Chris, if a man can control his mind, if a man can control his mind, he can control anything. He kept saying that shit to me, man. I'm like, I'm young. I'm like, man, get out of here. I'm like, whatever. It's like a man can
Yeah,
control his mind, he can control everything. And then when
that's
I
real.
saw him work, you know how we do in the studio, Asia, when the artist goes in the booth. I don't know if you remember a girl called Tammy Lucas.
Yep, she sung with Teddy Riley.
Is it
It
good
good
to
to
you?
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but she was his guy. She was work. She actually did a lot of stuff for him too,
Okay.
Pharrell. So
Okay.
she come in, attitude, heavy attitude, dude.
Really?
Oh my
She was
lord,
dope too, man. I love that song, man. That joint was on the Juice soundtrack.
man, she was a beast.
Wow. Really?
She would come in. You talking about? knocking it out, Asia. One take. So she would
Crazy.
do it, and then the artist couldn't do it. You know how it is. The studio singer can knock it out, but then the artist is trying to do it 100 times. They can't get it.
And they can't get it. Yeah. Yeah.
But he would do. Going back. I never. Watching him taught me how to take it over. I mean, he would do a take 100 times. You know those runs. Those runs. You'll hear his runs on like the Beyonce. Oh,
Yeah.
that's his run. That's his signature
Yeah.
run. You know.
Yeah.
Heard him
Yeah.
do his shit, man, and people were going there. I seen him so politely. Okay, let's take it again. Let's take it again. All right, I like that. Let's do it again. One more time. Over and over and over and over and over,
Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Over and over. You've been there, dude. I can imagine how many times you had to go over a line.
Oh God, boy. Yeah. It can be a little mentally draining, man. Just going over the same thing. Sometimes it's like, okay, let's do it. Okay, let's take 5 minutes, man. Let's chill for a second. You know what I mean? It can be draining, man. Trust me. Especially with singers, man. Especially with singers. I've
That's
I've I've,
rough.
I've only come across a few that can knock it out. Most of them, you got to keep working with them. Keep working, keep working, keep working. They don't do it right. Got to do it again. Yeah,
Over and over and over. I think that's what's going to give you a unique advantage in this thing, man, because doing it over and over again is your life. I mean,
that's all it is. That's all it is. Straight up.
and Asia, you know what's weird? These people, check this out. I'm getting ready to hit you hard.
Yeah.
These people don't even know what rewind, time, fast forward, time is. You with me?
You right.
They don't even know rewind. What is I don't even know. It doesn't even exist.
It's over with. It's over with.
You know?
These are old terminologies now,
Just
which
go to the.
doesn't make sense at all to me. But I guess with the changing of the times, I guess you just gotta adapt to it, man.
There is no right. You just go to the point click, and you're there. You
That's
know?
it.
I mean, Asia, we probably spent in a 10-hour session maybe 3 hours on rewind or fast forward,
Oh yeah, because it was tapes and stuff.
on tapes. All on
And
tape.
tapes, or I mean, shoot, if it was reels, man, I don't know if I don't know if was it that far back for you?
Well, reels and then
Reels?
ADATs.
Yeah, yeah. And you had to rewind. You had to keep rewinding. Yeah, that right
We
there was crazy.
stuff changed, man. Stuff
Yeah,
changed.
yeah. I mean, now the workflow is a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot
But it
easier.
makes you, you know what though? What I notice, it makes the better, the good get better because they get faster,
Hmm.
and then the guys that are slower, like I was slow making beats, it makes us like, damn, I can be at this location so quick. Then I got to make my brain think faster.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because now you can like you said, you can just get to a point now. You can just click on a point now, and you're right there. Versus hitting the fast forward button or hitting the rewind, and you don't have to. You can just go right there and punch it in, and you know
Damn.
what I mean. Now you can see something now, which we couldn't back in the day.
Say that again, Asia. I lost you. One more time.
Waves. I was saying back in the day, like you couldn't see waves on like the screen.
You can see it.
Now you can literally see the screw up. You can see where it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh,
can you can just see it, and you can just either take it out. You can literally go right there and punch it in. And
wow,
like I said, you're not losing any quality because you're not dealing with analog. You're not dealing with tapes. This is all digital.
wow.
It's definitely changed.
Somebody here says Nelly Nell Rock says B side. Wow, yeah, you're going way back.
A B side? Oh my God.
Wow, I'm on
It
the
ain't
B
no more
side, dog.
sides. There ain't no more sides.
No,
It's all one long program. That's it. It's one track after track. That's it.
all
All
right.
that's done, man.
Well, good talking to you, man. I'm going to start doing what I don't know if I told you, but my new thing is I'm going to do entrepreneur incubators
Okay.
for situations like yours where I can just brainstorm, and I'm gonna do classes, man, on this YouTube shit, Asia. I don't have enough. I mean, the numbers, Asia, they
I
are
love it.
making me, huh?
I love it.
They're keeping me up at night.
For real. Oh God. It's got your mind working crazy.
Asia, my thing is, I can't believe I never thought I'd have a million anything. You know, it's like to have a million. I don't care.
That's dope, man.
A million. I'm looking at my wife. Then she look, with like the bank account. She's like, "What the fuck?" And she called me up. I'm like, a million anything, Asia. You are doing something, dog. You doing something, dog.
Yeah, bro.
And I want to be a blessing, man. I mean, I want to make sure I'm getting a little bit of knowledge. I don't know nothing when it really comes to it,
Right.
but this Asia, those numbers I showed you before, them shits is
Mhm.
like low.
Yeah.
I mean, the joint is just. I mean, it might be 200. I mean, in a in an hour, it might be 1,000 views in an hour, Asia. 2,000 views in an hour, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing, Asia. It's
Yeah.
amazing, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, man, even before we get off, bro, I definitely want to congratulate you even on that, bro, because I mean, you're definitely utilizing that platform the way it should be.
I appreciate it, brother. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
And I know at the same time, you're really setting out to really educate people, you know what I mean? And ultimately try to help them find their better place, in their life and their financial situation.
Yeah. Well, to me, is I started out in the creative side, which
Right.
it feels good,
Right.
but I don't know, man. I just don't know if you could be creative in this economy here. Being creative is good, but it's like I have seen men
Mm,
do this whole digital thing, Asia, and do $1,000 a day just
mm,
on the internet, and it's
right.
like I know men that travel the world and they do
Right.
digital e-commerce,
Hmm.
but it's really about first thing is about what you want.
Right.
If
Right.
you don't care about being financially free, then why no need to talk about it,
True.
you
True.
know?
That makes sense.
But I'm like I'm strictly on raising my financial literacy. And with your joint, I just I see this picture in my head. I can just log on and be like, "Hey, yo, check this out! I got my boy making a track. Check this out." You got the live and the cameras moving, and you got the little
That's
setup.
where we're taking it. This is where it's going. I'm telling everybody right now. The reason that I got to hold up right now is because I want to make sure that when we going live, I'm going live. I want people to see the process. I want people to be like, "Oh wow, that's good. That's dope." I don't just want to be up there just playing a beat or something. You know what I mean? Like I want them to see the process.
Yeah, man,
I want them to see it.
that's a
So
good
that's
idea.
kind of like sort of like why I put a little bit of the brakes on it too, because I could easily just make a channel and just start uploading beats, which I'm gonna do that too. But I want them to see the process. I want them to see how it comes from nothing to something.
Yeah, you have a sequencer on there.
Huh?
Is it still called a sequencer, Asia?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's all in one unit, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're still putting together sequences and moving them around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like now, but it's now you can physically just see it and you can move that sequence over. Like you can see the structure of the song in the form of blocks. And you can move that block over to the left, move it over to the right. If you don't want that to repeat, you can delete it, you can copy it, you can paste it. It's all non-destructive editing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Non-destructive editing.
Non-destructive editing. You don't lose anything. As long as you keep hitting that save button. That's what I'll say. Keep hitting the save button.
Nice,
That's
nice.
it. Yeah.
All right, my brother. Anything you want to leave for my viewers regarding life, business, Asia, what is going on in your world? Your final thoughts?
The only thing I'll say is, look, like I said earlier, it's you against you.
Wow,
It's you against you. You know what I mean? If you want to get something, if you really want it, you've got to fight against all of the little bouts of laziness and I don't feel like doing it today and procrastinating. Like the biggest thing I can
wow,
say is just take action.
wow,
Just take action on whatever it is you want, man, and just go. Because at this point, it's nobody stopping you except for you. There's no gatekeepers to anything in terms of this anymore.
wow. That's deep.
That's it.
That's true, man.
That's it.
That's true. You know what?
Yep.
It took me a long time, man. I'm 43.
Hmm.
It has taken me 40 years to figure out, well, not that long because the internet wasn't around until recently.
Right.
But I didn't understand the fact that there are no gatekeepers, and that is so deep.
Yo, it's over. It's over. It's nobody stopping nobody from nothing except
Wow.
for you, except for the person you look at every day. That's the gatekeeper. That is the new gatekeeper. That person in the mirror. You are your own gatekeeper. Don't hold yourself back.
Wow. That is so cool. That's
That's
a
it.
nice
Straight up.
one.
Straight
I was
up.
I was listening to Damon Dash, man, and he was saying, dude, protect your YouTube. You know artists are giving away their YouTube to Asia.
Oh, that's completely suicide. That's straight suicidal right there.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, go on the channel, man. You be like a million views. They ain't even getting it.
Oh my God. See? Yeah, but you know what it is people don't really understand the value yet.
They don't.
They don't understand the value of it yet because there's still people in the old mindset. They don't understand that this is where it is. This is how people are conducting business now.
I'm telling you.
And you're seeing it every day when you start seeing these stores close that's been around for years. And they can't
Wow.
maintain anymore from the KB toy stores to what now the Payless.
Pay less
Yo,
shoes.
it's happening before you, man. It's
Yeah.
changing. It's like, are you gonna adapt to it? Or are you gonna get left behind?
You know, man, it hurts me to my soul. And you know, it's weird. I shouldn't want more for people than they want for themselves.
Right.
But I just see when I drive through town, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the other day a guy he was going to work, no doubt. He had to be a painter. He had his painter overalls on.
Mm-hmm.
He was maybe 50 in his late 50s. And I'm like, I don't want to be doing that shit when I'm 50. I don't know what he was doing. I'm not saying it's good or bad.
Right.
But dude, there are dinosaurs, and I consider myself a dinosaur. I don't
Right.
know, man. I just think that my mission to raise our financial literacy,
Mm-hmm.
those are the people that need to know it the most, and they have the knowledge and the life, the adversity in life to share this stuff, Asia, just like you do with the adversity that you went through in the '90s.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
everybody's like young people, young people, young people. My thing is, we need to be talking to 40s, 50s, and 60s because they know
They
the
know.
internet.
Yeah. They've been through some things. They've been through some things. And so that means that they know a lot more and they have the wisdom.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. I get it. Trust me. I get it.
All right, man. I'm gonna drop some final thoughts on my family class. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am trying. My goal. I've been praying on it. My goal is to do a final thoughts every day. I haven't.
Right.
I'm not there yet. I'm doing a couple of weeks, but my goal is to do final thoughts every day. I'm not there, but I
Mhm.
did have something I wanted to share with you, and then I'm gone.
Right.
This has been nice, Asia. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Anytime. You already know.
My final thought today was, oh, I know what it was. What skill? What skill do you have to attract a niche? And I can only speak for myself. I know my little skills. I'm able to teach people how to buy houses without cash credit or without banks.
Mm,
But what skill for my class that are viewing? You gotta have specialized skill. I wanted to just tell you that I chose real estate because even if you're whack and you don't know what you're doing and you buy wrong, you will win in real estate
mm.
over
Wow. Wow. Wow.
by default. I don't know how many industries out there that you can suck at and still win, you know?
Mm,
So real estate, I'm not the sharpest guy, I'm not the smartest guy, but I just studied, I picked the business to get into high dollar. But you don't have to if you're watching this, you're watching, you don't have to have that. I wanted to know oops, what skill are you developing in your life? And no doubt Asia is always trying to get better. You talk about different equipment.
right. Right.
What's what skill do you want to develop? And I'm going to be doing some YouTube class on this stuff. I got to charge for some of this stuff because my wife is sitting there looking at me. I do so much shit for free. I just can't work all day for free.
Absolutely.
What skill are you developing? What skill? So just try to develop a skill. And once you get a niche, the magic, I've seen it, like my niche is real estate, but it's a true magic when you can open up. I remember Drake saying, I saw him do an interview. He's like, man, it's really magic when I can relate to the 19-year-old. I mean, the skill is related to the 19-year-old, but the magic comes when his market opens up, when I can get that 40-year-old and the 30-year-old and the 50-year-old. I can get all of them chant my music. And I'm
Right.
like, man, that was so deep. I don't know where it comes from, Asia. How can you,
Mm,
even for you with hip hop, you got that one niche, but some producers like Tim, they
mm,
just open up, man, and even like Teddy, they just open up and they get the whole world.
mm. I mean, it's definitely a gift, man. That's all I can say. I mean, some
Yeah,
some some people have that it factor, and
yeah,
it's a natural knack for them, and then others they got to work a little harder at it.
yeah. But either way, you make money. I mean, as long as you got your niche, you can still do well with the niche. But the magic when you get to open up and talk to the whole world is real cool.
Oh my God, yes, it's over with then.
All right, brother. So I'll talk to you when you get back when you coming back.
I'll be back on what is it, the 4th of March.
Okay, cool. So we'll get down
All
then,
right,
brother.
absolutely, man.
All right. God bless.
Later.
Class, thank you for hanging out with your boy. I'm actually in the bed. People reach out from time to time to discuss certain things, and I gotta make time when I can. I was talking to clients. I've been working. I want you to know that being an entrepreneur, it's not cool, it's not sexy, it's not pretty, it's not even fun. It's a bunch of hard work. This stuff is hard. I've been working since 5 this morning. I woke up at 5, had to work on some editing, I had my staff doing some research for real estate. Then I had to go engineer a show at church, come back home, got to do some recording on some other videos we're working on. We had a home inspection that I had to go down to see what repairs I'm going to do for a buyer for a house that I'm selling. So I just wanted you to know that being an entrepreneur is just not that easy, and it's not for everybody. Some people need to go work full time, and that's what they need to do for them. For me, it just wouldn't work. It just didn't work for me like that. Ivory, will I ever know the old Apple computers? Yes, I had that's what I had. I had the old yes, I had one of those, dog. It was flat. It laid flat like that. I've been back in the 90s, man. Yeah, that's all we got. Okay, class, I don't see any questions. So that's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, thumbs up, and I will talk to you on Monday with my real estate mom investor, Lori Eubanks. I don't know what time, but I'll send you an email. Peace, class.